السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري ويشرك في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. So, welcome everyone. So, we have been studying the section Jinn of the Qur'an, and we had a really long introduction, which was necessary, really, because the concept of Jinn is almost misunderstood generally. So we wanted to have an existential explanation of Jinn, how we should perceive them, how we should understand them, all the reasons we have been studying for 5 weeks, actually. And then we started studying the section Jinn itself last week, and the last words from the section Jinn we studied was وَإِنَّهُ كَانَ يَقُولُ سَفِيهُنَا عَلَى اللَّهِ شَطَطًا, and that the foolish among us, among the Jinn, now the Jinn were speaking among us, had been saying outrageous falsehoods after God, because they said this after hearing the Quranic message. They realized that, this is the truth, and what we have been hearing is outrageous falsehoods about God. So they realized it. But after receiving the message or hearing the Quran recited on them or recited, the Prophet was reciting the Quran in his morning prayer after returning back from Taif. And he was very much disappointed because rejected, humiliated, stoned by a herd of children. So the people really ridiculed him. So he was already not welcomed, and even really tried to expel him from their tribe. So he was in the middle of Mecca and Taif, both of them the big cities, both of them in the region, big cities. Both of them, the people rejected him now, desperate. And he was praying with Zayd with him, his so-called, at that time, is adopted son, but he wasn't adopted son. He was adopted son, but he's not really his son. So the Quran explains the situation there and makes clear that your adopted children cannot be your real children, and the blood-related children. So that was another, but that was the matter then. And this verse, this section was revealed. Then, as we have studied from the previous 3 verses that they listened to the Quran, they said, this is really the clear truth. We submit to it. And then verse 4 says, we realize that some of us, among us in Jinn, like human beings as well, so they were telling outrageous falsehoods or lies about God. And we studied this verse. That's why I'm really going fast through it, just to connect to the verses we are going to study today. وَإِنَّا ظَنَنَّا أَن لَن تَقُولَ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. Although we had thought that no human or jinn, now human and jinn are mentioned together, would dare tell a lie about God, because we studied that human and jinn have many, many commonalities between them. Only the difference between jinn and human being, jinn are created beings with no body. That's it. Like our spirit. So they had free will to choose, and they have responsibilities, they have qualities to recognize and to distinguish between right and wrong, exactly like the human beings. But there are evil ones in them, among them, and there are evil ones among human beings, and there are truthful ones, loyal ones, those who submit their reality to their reality and accept what their real existence informs them of the reality they confirm. Also, all the same, they share the same qualities. Although we had thought that no human or jinn would dare tell a lie about God. They were so innocent. So, like some people among human beings as well, they don't really pay attention to, they take it that everybody is struggling for just their life to do something in order to just take care of their, of course, most of these people, bodily needs. And that's it. So why should they tell a lie about the creator of the universe? Even if they believe in God, they didn't really take it seriously that some people really, really have an outrageous enmity towards the creator because they don't want to submit themselves. They are just creatures. They don't want to be in this position. They want to get hold of their own control of their own life. They want to do what they want to do. They don't want to be responsible before anybody else, any being else. That is why they cannot, because of their arrogance, they cannot really submit their existence to the superior being, God. That is why they reject God, and as if they are revenging their inferiority by denying him. That is some sort of very brief psychology of denial. So they learn now, after hearing the Qur'an's message. Now we are today here. وَإِنَّهُ كَانَ رِجَالٌ مِنَ الْإِنسِ يَعُوذُونَ بِرِجَالٍ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَزَادُوهُمْ رَهَقًا. Now, and some men from humans used to seek refuge. It means they were expecting help from some men from jinn. It is interesting, as I underlined it, the word rijal, plural of rajul, it means man, a man, plural, rijal, man, in plural. So from jinn, from human beings. We understand from the literary point of studying the Quran, rhetoric side of the Quran, emphasizing the similarities between men and jinn, using the same vocabulary for both species, if you like, or existent beings. So some human beings used to seek some advice, some help from Jinn, but the Jinn only increase their confusion with their speculations. So rahaqa. فَزَادُوهُمْ rahaqa. They made more in confusion, in mixing up the truth with truth. What do we learn from this? Not only to talk about what the jinns said and thought. And some human beings were seeking help from jinn. Okay, what shall I do now? What shall I do now? We have to be very careful. These human beings who try to seek help from jinn, they are, but be careful about this understanding that I'm going to share with you. This needs a little bit attention, and maybe more attention than usual, in order to understand that this is not a baseless understanding. I am satisfied with it. That's why I am sharing this understanding with you. Now, human beings are expected to use their own spirit, their own consciousness, in order to get information and criterion about the truth, the reality of this world, the reality of our existence. They have a consultation, if you like. They consult human spirit. Human spirit clearly demonstrates that you cannot really cover up the truth. You are a created being. You know that. You are needy. You cannot give existence to anything. You are helpless, impotent. No help. Definitely they wouldn't pay attention to the revelation. When they look at the universe, they look at the universe, something is regularly happening. It is interesting. Something is happening on a regular basis. They say, I can really utilize this, but everything is happening in such a wonderful way, such a perfect way, miraculous way, that they cannot really say that the thing itself cannot be able to do all these things. Then what shall I do now? They start to see the immaterial side of it and invent some vocabulary, such as accident. Of course, the big taghut with the language of the Qur'an, a big lie is nature. Natural laws are constant. It is intrinsic to matter itself. Where did it get? What shall I do? Try to find out some imaginary things, non-material side of the things. But do they exist? They cannot demonstrate it. That's what I understood, that from non-material side of it, all these inventions, speculations, conjectures are inspired by Jinn. That is why we have to combine them. People are getting this from the immaterial side, but in fact, we said there are believing jinns and disbelieving jinns. These are inspired by deliberately disbelieving jinns. So this relationship is established by this bad intentioned people. How about good intentioned people? We have different understanding and approach to the good intentioned people. How? I hope you are all, and one of you listens to his spirit, his human qualities. They all know that we cannot create anything. We cannot really stop being changed. We cannot really get out of the order of the universe. We are subject to the creator of the whole universe. That is what my, if you like, call it the heart tells me, or my own human consciousness teaches me, tells me, my spirit tells me, and I look at the universe and try to see what is going on in this universe. Through this attitude, the universe also is in the same situation. Everything, the matter, doesn't have any power to create, any knowledge to really know what is going on around it. Every particle of the universe is existing as it is, given existence in the position where they are. They don't have any wisdom, they don't have any free will, they don't have any program, knowledge, so that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this so that I can survive. So we can get this information from the creation. We can get this information from our spirit if we are not arrogant, or if a person, of course you are not, but if a person is not arrogant, but truth seeking, innocent person, he receives this message. And automatically he is in connection with the believing Jinn side of we call it representative of the Jinn side of creation, but representative, Jinn exists as the representative of the truth side of the creation are believing people. Representative of the truth side of the creation among Jinn, believing Jinn. They two entities independently exist, but we don't feel that we are really receiving secretly from something else, but from the reality. So we have to know that with inspirations of the believing Jinn are combined with the inspiration of my spirit, inspiration of the angelic side of the universe, and inspiration of the prophetic message, and inspiration of the Gabriel representing the truth, meaningful truth in the universe, presenting it in the form of speech, verbal explanation. So the Quran, the prophet, the universe, the human being, and now we learn from the section Jinn, believing Jinns are uniting together. So we cannot really realize, because from 5 different sources, we receive the 7 truths. So we cannot realize that one of them is the believing Jinn inspirations. It means non-material side of the creation, but apart from the signs in the existence of the universe, jinns also give the news. That is why we have no effect on us what the inspirations of the believing jinn. That's why we don't realize the believers. But disbelieving people know that they are inventing something which has been stolen from, but not correct, from some pieces here and there. Instead of saying God, they turn the reality into the nature itself. What is the nature? The source of existence of the universe. Look, instead of God, invented a vocabulary. That is what I understand from this similarity in the news of the Quran. I know it may seem to be strange to you, but if we study the Quran, and it is all the Quran together, we see that there are many descriptions in the Quran that the jinn are trying to approach the source of the reality, revelation, representing the reality. And they are stormed, they are shooted by the shooting stars. Or this is the really, how do you say, concretized or analogical explanations of the reality of the universe. Yes, they are shooted by stars, shooting stars, because the shooting stars go through, destroys the wrong ideas, being evidence to the truth itself. So, but they want to get something. What can I do with it? So they get the Quran says with lots of confusion and understanding, mixed up truth with falsehood. So they get this information and whispers it to disbelieving human beings, so that they give misguidance or misinformation they have stolen from the universe existence and presented to human beings. They say, okay, instead of God, we said nature itself. Now we are happy. Instead of God's planning, they say natural laws. The God's planning of the universe in a perfect order, they really celebrate the idea of God's law as natural laws. But law side is correct. Natural side is distortion. Distorting, deviating from the right track. And instead of going to the source of existence of the universe, saying God, they say nature itself. Something in the intrinsic in the beings themselves. For example, how can I, as a human being, think, reason, question, be able to see what is right, what is wrong? How can I do that? This is your instinct. What does it mean, my instinct? Where did I get it? How come it comes? It is instinct in matter. Do you think matter has this quality? Show me. Demonstrate it. But I understand I cannot show God, but there are signs, innumerable signs pointing to absolute qualities. In the creation of the things, as we always say, if you look at anything, really, you look at this telephone, or the machine you are using now to communicate with me. Look at this. The telephone, every part of the telephone is really proclaiming the qualities of its engineers, its programmers. Everywhere. I am a human being, I can easily understand, and there is no reason for me to be suspicious about it. But if I don't want to accept that this telephone has an engineer, what I do now, how can I explain it? You know, but when I press on this button, when I press on something, click on something, the same thing happens. This is intrinsic in it. I can distort the reality and go against my nature. So, unsummarized, universe, Qur'an, prophets, believing human soul, believing jinn. Did I get this? Thank you very much. Perfect. Well, I was so excited that the universe, the existence actually, has this aspect as well, because we always talk about how the universe witnesses to its source of existence as to be the absolute creator of the whole universe. Quran, verbal expression of this truth, because they collaborate together. They really work harmoniously with each other. Prophet, in his life, practices what the Quran says, what human spirit requires. No contradiction. So, believing human soul, I also feel it, understand it in my own being, experience it. That's my understanding. That's what capacity. And now, after studying the jinn together with the whole narrations about jinns trying to steal the truth from heavens, thinking about it, why does God tell me all these? Why does he tell me all these? So jinns are trying to steal some pieces of revelation. The scholars interpret it in this way. So as Gabriel or the angels bring the news from God and apply it in the universe, they try to get it, but they are stoned. About stone, not only the human beings take a piece of stone and pebble in his and throw it. No, like stars, and also this the shihab, the Quran tells about, shoot on them. It means all the creation is taking place such a wonderful way that they cannot really justify their claims, the disbelieving jinns. But believing jinns go alongside with what the universe really declares, what the existence of everything really announces. So they go along with the news of the new universe. Therefore, the revelation which confirms the universe, the news of the universe, so they don't contradict it, so they are not chased away, they are supported. Like human beings who confirm the evidence, who confirm the signs of the universe, pointing to the qualities of its creator. So these believing human beings are not rejected or disturbed by the existence of anything. Whatever they see, they say, yeah, that's what I confirm. That's what you say in your existence. That's what I confirm. So I have no obstacle on my way of understanding the universe. So receiving the message from God is welcoming to me, and I'm pleased with it. They know there is no conflict. There is no fight between me and the message. But the disbelieving jinns and disbelieving human beings are in trouble. They keep inventing, really, conjecturing this theory, the other theory, all the theories disqualify the previous theories. Disqualify the previous theories about trying to explain the reality of the universe, existence in general, really. So I'm very pleased with this understanding, so that I wouldn't be carried away those silly, baseless, imaginative jinn stories. They are real existence. Okay. I'm going through the seventh verse. وَإِنَّهُمْ ظَنُّوا كَمَا ظَنَنْتُمْ أَنْ لَنْ يَبْعَثَ اللَّهُ أَحَدًا. And they thought, those disbelieving jinn, as you once thought, or human beings. Now the Quran is speaking to me now, as you thought, but this once is put here by most of the translators. As you are reading the Quran now, you are not really thinking in this way. Once before you exposed yourself to the revelation. But I don't think this is needed, because anyone can go through these stages, and anytime we are going through these stages anyways. So as you once thought that God wouldn't send anyone as his messenger. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't send anyone to represent his reality, to present his reality to human beings. Human beings also have the same journey, if you like. Any questions so far? Shall we move on? Anyone? No comments, so I will continue. All right. 8. وَإِنَّا لَمَسْنَا السَّمَاءَ فَوَجَدْنَاهَا مُلِئَتْ حَرَسًا شَدِيدًا وَشُهُبًا. It's another narration of this jinn trying to steal news from the heavens. Now, earlier we tried to reach, because they are now listening to the Quran, but before we were aware of the revelation, then we used to think, we used to try to reach heaven, but discovered it to be full of stone guards and shooting stars.
Brother Alima, there's a comment from one of the participants.
Sorry?
There's a comment from one of the participants, Annie. She has a comment in the chat, if you missed it.
There is a comment, did you say?
Oh, no. Brother Ali already addressed that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was me.
No, is it okay now? Everything is fine?
Yes. I thought it was a new comment. She said it's
Okay.
already you spoke about it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So we tried to reach heaven, as Sema, but discovered it to be full of stone guards and shooting stars. Now, these are difficult subjects. If we read it, we may, most probably, that's what I understand, if you read and try to understand the verses of the Quran in their literal or explanation or literal presentation, we cannot benefit from it at all. For example, let's read this verse as literally it says and say that some jinns tried to reach heaven, but discovered it to be full of stern guards and shooting stars. Shuhuban, the shihab, shuhub. So the plural, there are lots of, it means full of, but because it is the plural form of shihab, which not only shooting stars, but shuhuban, this form includes in it is, of course, Arabic grammar teaches this. It is unimaginably a lot. Not only more than 2, 3, 4. No, unimaginably a lot. This is called the shuhub, shuhubun, fu'ulun. This is, we are not studying the literal side of it, so I cannot explain it here, and there is no way to understand. But why it is to be full of storm guards and shooting stars, because muliyet, full, filled up, harasen şediden, ve şuhuba. It's a lot of shooting stars. So if you read it, okay, now what is going on in the heaven? I don't know. I haven't seen it. And that is the subject where about which the jinns were doing something and some shooting stars were sent by Allah, let's say. So I don't know. That is what the Quran says. I cannot benefit from it by reading in this way. We have to understand that the Quran speaks to human beings in order to guide them to find out what truth is. So, وَإِنَّا لَمَسْنَا السَّمَاءَ. What is sema? And also messe. Messe is to touch something, mess, to touch something like this. As-sama, the sky, but we have to understand sema is a very, very, has a very large meaning. For example, this normally the sema is the top of everything. It means ultimate purpose of everything. In existence, we understand that what is the ultimate purpose of existence? To let us know who its creator is. Explain, for example, now let's have a physical example in this world. For example, this one, the sema of the computer is, or the telephone is to communicate with with other people, and as far as it is maker is concerned and engineer is concerned, because it is a human being, he asks for money because it is a human being. But in fact, all the purposes of the telephone is the sema of the telephone, ultimate purpose. But how about Quran uses seba semawat? When the Quran used in its plural form, 1, 2, 3 semawat, that means the sky. Layers upon layers upon layers of sky. But a sema, you can say the sema of something, ultimate aim, end of something. So they said, وَإِنَّا لَمَسْنَا السَّمَاءَ, just to teach the ultimate existence of why does this universe exist? Why does this thing exist? To get contact with it. But who is speaking now? Jinn is speaking. Before they, earlier, this one earlier here, if you see my cursor, do you see my cursor here moving?
Yes,
Or,
we do.
you do, okay. So I don't know. Okay, thank you very much. It is good. And so earlier than before we listened to the Quran, we got the message from the Creator. So we used to try to understand what is the purpose of existence of this universe. Sema, ultimate aim of it, top of it. I mean this, if you like, roof of it. But when it is used in the plural form, it means canopy of the universe, as far as the human vision is concerned. For me, the sky is the canopy of my world. Canopy of my world. Because these are not very commonly way of understanding the Quran, understanding the message of the Quran. Unfortunately, in the prevalent culture of the Muslim population, what we can find it only the fragments of truth and represented in mostly physical forms. That is why abstract understanding. So look at the physical form of anything in the world. For a cat. Look at the physical form of a cat. You can describe it. It is black. It is really very, how do you say this? It has immediate reaction about anything which goes against their nature. Anything scratching, for example, it pays attention. Any animal around, it pays attention if it can get. Even they fight against dogs, and they beat up the dogs with their nails. So they are so clever. They catch mouse. It is their main job in a house. What we see now, only the physical side. Look what I mentioned, only physical appearance and actions of the cat. But the sema of the cat, as it is understood in the revelation, it is demonstrating the perfect qualities of its creator. And it is a miraculous existence. Look, I am talking about the Sema now, but that is human nature to search for it, but not necessarily with a good intention. For example, if I take my guard saying that, no, I'm not going to submit myself to a created being, to a being, super being, and I am not going to submit my will to the will of my creator or the creator. I am going to use my will, free choice, power to choose freely. I want to be independent by myself. If I take this attitude, of course, as the atheist, materialist, scientists claim, oh, the things are happening naturally by themselves. Why do they say that? Because they cannot really ignore the witnessing of the universe. It is obvious there, really screaming out that their creator is the one who gets hold of the whole universe, and it is beyond human imagination, but definitely such a being definitely must exist. They don't want to accept that. But at the same time, the universe keeps bothering them. How come that all the food are prepared? How come that millions of different species of animate beings, plants, animals are in existence? How come all these species are so perfect? Human mind is so much bothered. They are trying to really find out any kind of excuse to reject the creator, not to submit to them. But they discover it to be full of stern guards and shooting stars. ملئت حرسا شديدا وشهبا. ملئت full of endless. Everything in the creation rejects their attitude, rejects their claim. They cannot really find a real existing evidence so that they will say, look, this is real, isn't it? What they do, they all invent concepts within the universe which doesn't have any sign of existence at all, and doesn't have any signs in the existence of anything. Everything says, no, 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 you cannot justify it. You cannot really have a reasonable, rational explanation to it. You are just speculating about it. Really, predictions, nothing real. They are stoned by the stern guards and shooting stars. That makes sense to me now, and I understand denial of the creator of the universe is really stoned by the shooting stars, hit by the shooting stars. What means? Every being says, no, you cannot find any quality in my existence. Go away. Go away. Okay. Yeah, we have been studying on what do shooting stars mean. Rejecting anything existing. Anything existing in the universe says, no, you cannot find any evidence, anything really existing in us, which will say that accidental happenings resulted in this perfect millions of living beings. Every living being is perfect in its own existence. So stoning them. That is what jinns are, or before they believe in God, they were trying to understand what's right, what is right, what is right. How can I really explain my existence, the existence of this? They couldn't really find any evidence. As soon as they heard the revelation which declares the unique absolute creator, then they say, yeah, why don't we think about the absolute creator of the universe? Which means all these are in need of being created. So there must be a creator. I don't have to see it in order to believe in the existence of this telephone, that it must have an engineer. Do you have to see the engineer making it? The one, this, as it exists, it witnesses to its qualities of its engineer. So simple. The telephone itself, each part of the telephone itself says, no, no, no. You cannot explain me that. I am doing it by myself, within my own nature. It is just speculation. Okay, the following verse. I mean, does it make sense? Especially our friend Anne, you asked the question, does it make sense, really? Rather than seeing something shooting and really sending a rocket or something.
The problem I'm having is that, to me, shooting stars is something magical. So to me, it has a positive connotation. In this case, it's not. It has a negative connotation, right? I'm still not quite sure
No.
what shooting stars is referring to, because I keep thinking of something magical, something positive.
No, just the meaningful side of the existence of everything.
So it is good then.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Universe is good.
Oh, yeah, I know that, but
the culture human beings just inherit from the stories, very superficial, saying that the evil stars are, no, there's no evil star. Everything exists, is good.
What about the stern guards? What does that refer to?
Stern guard? I mean, this severe, not
sorry. Yeah.
No, not forgiving guards. Whoever this deserves what, gives it his right. If someone says you are representing the truth in my word, that is in your existence, you are declaring the qualities of my God, they said, okay, that is right. But if someone rejects and insults them, you are accidental being. You are an accidental being. They say, no, because they have no evidence in them. In their existence, they reject them. Do you understand? In their very existence, everything rejects denying ideas, disbelieving ideas, disbelieving in the Creator. So the whole universe is full of goodness. No bad in the universe. Nothing bad in the universe. That's why Muslim scholars agreed upon that bad thing never happens in the universe, but we take it as bad. That is our perception. Or we may misunderstood it. That is our mistake. In fact, whatever happens is created by the creator of the universe, and whatever happens is to fulfill the mission of to declare his qualities. That is what we see in the universe. We see, for example, let's say a fresh banana witnesses its qualities. Rotten banana, the qualities of its creator. Rotten banana, again, declares, announces how perfect the creator of this rotten banana in its rotten form, so that as it gets harmful to human body, it is created in a bad smelling. Fresh banana, I don't know whether banana really smells nowadays. I've never smelled anything from bananas. All fruits are really, I mean, not inorganic, they say, and everything is organic, but they made it chemically. They played with their genes or whatever they call it. I don't remember the word now. Now we understand that in their creation, then also they start looking not really appealing to human feelings. Perfectly, wisely creation of rotten banana declares it. Nothing is bad in the universe, but rotten banana, I don't like it. I throw it away. That is, for my benefit, is bad. In its existence is perfect, declaring it is creator's quality. I think we should get rid of this cultural, or how do you say, social culture about religion. Social culture is an obstacle on understanding the reality of the message of the Qur'an. But it is difficult, okay. I understand. That's why it takes me to explain all this and let the understanding settle down in the mind, so the mind is comfortable, feelings are comfortable, so I am in peace in my belief in God. I am not assuming, I am not really imagining, but real, based on the witnessing of the real existence of the universe, supported by the revelation. And I feel that it really confirms what my reality tells me. Alhamdulillah. So we will study the section Jinn, verse 13, inshallah. So, وَإِنَّا كُنَّا نَقْعُدُ مِنْهَا مَقَاعِدَ لِلسَّمْعِ فَمَنْ يَسْتَمِعِ الْآنَ يَجِدْ لَهُ شِهَابًا رَصَدًا. Again, shuhub and shihab, the same word. One of them is plural, the other one is singular. The same word. We used to sit in places there listening, but anyone trying to listen now will find a shooting star lying in wait for me. Now, why the scholars argued about this word, el-an, this one? It means now, now. After receiving the message of the Qur'an, believing jinn and believing human beings, afterwards I said, now I understood. Now I realized exactly the same meaning here, el-an, now. So we used to sit in places there listening, but anyone trying to listen Now we'll find the shooting star lying in wait for him. Understood now that a shooting star, it means witnessing of the creation, especially this awesome creation of the stars, that you cannot really reduce me to an accidental being. Look at my galaxy, demonstrating the glory of our Creator, perfectly harmonious with each other, and never stopping in excitement of our declaration of the qualities of our Creator. Oh, we understand that's what we couldn't really get any evidence from the existence of the universe, because the universe has a creator who organized it. We were trying to understand the source of existence of the universe. Within the universe itself, how stupid we were. For example, opening the telephone and trying to see what is the maker of this telephone within the telephone, because we are within, it is the telephone example, of course, it is just a metaphor. We are within the universe and trying to find out the source of existence of the universe within the universe. How meaningless this effort was. After receiving the news from outside the universe, it means from the creator of the universe, I realized, oh, now we were wrong. That is why we couldn't find any evidence. Everything as if rejected our attempt to explain it within the existence of the universe. Through their existence, trying to understand what made the banana in our example. Try to understand the maker of the banana within the banana, and the banana says, "Don't be stupid, go away. I have no evidence for this claim." Oh, my being explicitly presents that I am made by some other agent than myself. And my tree also is made an agent than other than the tree itself. And the tree says all the plants and animals on the surface of the earth are made, created, are given existence by a one outside of us. Go away from me. You cannot find any evidence within me. This is there is a beautiful description of this Quranic news and this understanding in the Nursi's writings. Everything says, go away. There is no evidence you are looking for to deny the creator of the universe within me, with their own existence. Exactly, I inspired by this approach that I have to read the Quran with this understanding. So, do we have time? Oh, God. We are out of time. Any question? Inshallah. Well, this is the foundation of the relationship between explained and described in the Quran in a beautiful but figurative way. So, especially our friend Anne, she expressed her understanding that the things are all the bad things are related to Jinn. This idea should be completely erased out of our mind. Believing jinns are with us, disbelieving jinns are against us, like disbelieving human beings are really trying to corrupt us, harm us, disbelieving, and also misbehaving. People also try to corrupt us. For example, exploit our innocence, exploit our weak points. So this struggle between believing and disbelieving people, believing and disbelieving jinn, and the relationship between the believing jinn and disbelieving jinn, believing jinn and believing human beings, disbelieving jinn and disbelieving human beings are always active in the world. So jinn represents bad things. That is absolutely garbage. So some people say the world is ugly, dirty, but we have to know, as without the universe, I cannot confirm my belief. Without the universe, even I cannot confirm the revelation. Even I don't understand that the prophet was telling the truth. Without the witnessing of the Quran, I cannot do anything. So we have to understand that the word is really very not only useful, very necessary to exist for me as I am now, according to my human capacity. So what is going on? There are some sayings narrated from the Prophet ﷺ. The word, the outward word, material side of word, created for the satisfaction of our body, is as compared to the life in paradise. We should not really spend a lot of your time or a lot of your human talents, a lot of your human qualities on gaining the material side from the material side of the universe in order to satisfy your body. This attitude is ugly, worthless. But if you use it in order to get evidence for your understanding of reality, that is absolutely necessary. The Quran is full of reference to the universe and invitation to look at the universe, benefit from the universe. So we have to understand the purpose of the speech of the Prophet, and also purpose in some of the verses of the Quran, saying that, for example, no, in هؤلاء يحبون الدنيا ويذرون يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم. No, when I think of إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم.
Is it قولا ثقيلا?
Say it again.
قولا ثقيلا? Is it قولا ثقيلا?
مثقالا ثقيلا. So
قولا
مثقالا. No. Oh, okay. It is interesting. Let's see this verse and understand it. Okay. Okay. إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا. Yeah, those
Yeah, I was
people.
mistaken. I said قولا ثقيلا. It's يوما ثقيلا.
Yeah, يوما ثقيلا, but you are close to the true one. So those people, they prefer the ajil. It means material satisfaction of the body. وَيَذَرُونَ وَرَاءَهُمْ, they leave behind, they're behind a yawm, a kind of creation will come, which is very thaqil. It means very heavy, grave. This is the most important thing that you should pay attention to. Not only feeding your body, but how about feeding your spirit? And also getting ready for the eternal life in order to recognize the one who is going to create the eternal life. This is from El Insan, section El Insan, verse 27. So, thank you, by the way, to help me. We should see that is the common understanding of and also consensus. There is a consensus among the Muslim scholars that whatever exists is good. We should never forget that. We should never forget that. Whatever exists is good. Even human actions are evil for human. Their own choice is wrong choice. But the creation of it is good, that God keeps his promise, teaches, as if the professor teaches the students in the school. Whoever comes, listen. Whoever doesn't come, doesn't listen, doesn't learn. So professor doesn't change his principle. This is my duty to teach you. If you want to learn, you will learn it. If you don't want to learn, if you prefer not to learn, you are free not to learn, but consequences on you. After the schooling education is completed, then you will left with nothing. You will not have gained anything at all after the school closes. That is why the professor should not change his principles so that the people will freely use their free choice. They will freely choose what they want, and the consequence on them. That is the result in hell or paradise. So the existence continuously teaches the reality. So the creator of the universe continuously teaches the reality in continuing to create the universe in the perfect way. That is why if someone chooses to do something, God says, okay, I kept my promise. I will keep my promise and created it, and you will get the result. And those people who are harmed, I will reward them. This is not the only existence. My capacity is endless, infinite. Not only the universe I can create. Look at the universe, how huge, and it is nothing for me. And I'm continuously changing it, renewing it. Nothing really makes me tired of it. It means he's demonstrating that he's an absolute being. So we shouldn't get disappointed with God, but we should get disappointed with the people who choose wrong, who choose really bad things, so harm others. That is very bad for them. But the Creator says, okay, I gave you freedom. I set the universe on an order. And I promised that I'm not going to change the order. So if I changed it, for example, somebody listens to the lecture, learns. And if he changes his way of creation, somebody doesn't listen, he also learns. There's no such word. The creation is free. Everybody is free to choose. So gives the opportunity to everyone. Okay, sorry, it's too late. We have to stop here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamu